Today it's looked after by a descendant of Verdi's family, Angelo Carrara Verdi.
It's a beautiful room.
Yes, this is the room of Giuseppina Strepponi. You can see the room with one bed because in that period they live separate in a house. Because the much part of the day they spend separate in their room. This is Verdi's room. Qui lui, in questa scrivania, componeva.
This is the desk where he composed.
Look.
Wow. I don't believe it. Man?
Yes, prego.
Wow, this is the famous cylinder hat in Boldini's famous painting. I daren't put it on, but I...
This is the billiard room.
Ah, and who came here?
Usually they come Boito, Ricordi, Piave, Ghislanzoni.
Ah, the librettists.
The librettist.
Ah.
Yes.
Because they would have had to stay a few days and to listen to the maestro's instructions, of course, yeah.
Because the maestro voleva sempre cambiare un po' le parole dei libretti.
He's saying it in a nice way, but Verdi would have liked to make changes in the libretto. Actually, he was extremely demanding.
Yes.
Politics dominated Verdi's life. He was a passionate Republican and wanted to see his country unified. Italians even seized on his name and used it as a patriotic slogan, Viva Verdi, expressing their secret support for a new king, Vittorio Emanuele, Re d'Italia. Although Verdi was a spiritual man, he was dismayed by the Roman Catholic Church's opposition to unification. He was also fundamentally anti-clerical because of what he saw as the Church's abuse of its power. Nowhere are the conflicting interests of Church and State better played out than in his epic Don Carlo, based on a dramatic poem by yet another great writer, Schiller. It's set during the religious wars of the Reformation. The Marquis of Posa, a young visionary, shocked by the oppressive nature of the rule of Spain over the Flemish people, gets an opportunity while he's back in Spain to confront King Philip II of Spain himself and describe to him the horrors that the Flemish people are experiencing. Now, Verdi in this music is less interested in form, less interested in structure, but more interested in going with the necessity of the drama. Posa, with incredible courage, says to the king, with one word, could make the whole world a happier place by granting liberty to the Flemish people. This is followed by a very unusual and new phrase of Verdi's to express this new thinking of the younger generation.
What the music's doing is doing what Verdi often does, which is to express vivid sympathy for the oppressed and a vivid dismay at the forces of tyranny.
And it's the fascination of King Philip with what Posa has just said, but he calls him a strange dreamer, and now he fragments that new music. The drama is now driving the music completely. So now what is recitative and what is melody or aria is much more fluid. It's much more difficult to tell what's going on, really, with form. Now, the use of chords here, just singular chords in a slow fashion, is something also very, very new. And he exploits this device. The king has heard nothing. Do not be afraid. But, and listen to these evil chords under which he says, Ma ti guarda, but beware of the Grand Inquisitor.
The Grand Inquisitor is the essence of a kind of negative, interdicting church. I mean, it's no accident that he loves this idea of the leader of the Catholic Church being blind and old. This idea of the Grand Inquisitor as someone who just powers through, unseeing, uncaring of idealism, of youth, just insisting on tradition remorselessly.